Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another YouAttest Educational Audit Tuesday. So today we're going to have a live session on both instruction and, of course, a demo on how to audit your Microsoft Active Directory. So we'll be taking questions, so just type them into the LinkedIn comment section and they will get to us. Okay, so let's get started. So Garrett, why don't you tell the audience what we'll be showing today?
Fantastic. And yes, this is a new part of a series that we're going to be doing in Audit Tuesday. Usually we have a guest, wonderful guest. In fact, next week we have another great show, but this one's going to be focused on product. And this is YouAttest team telling you about product. Okay. For those who aren't aware of what YouAttest does, we perfected and automated user access reviews. User access reviews, reviewing what? Reviewing identity application group users. The security customers, the customers who are in the security department, love us because we do what we're supposed to do. The access review runs and it removes and identifies and helps you remove the ghost and orphan accounts and removes excess privileges. Principal least privilege. That's what we're about. The governance people love us because once it's done, and that's what we're going to be doing in this demo, is it creates evidence. It creates the evidence for these compliances, okay? And you'll see it's either in PDF or CSV form. But the big differentiator is how do we get there? How does it deliver this? It's all about rapid integration. IGA has a bad name. Identity governance has a bad name because how long it usually deploys. We're all about taking what you have. And in this case, we're going to be showing your AD, but we do the other IAMs. Only talk about that a little. And integrating literally instantaneously and allowing you to start doing identity audits the same day, if not the same hour. This is how we live. We love the IAMs. We don't care. And today we're going to go over AD. But if you have Entra AD, Azure AD, as it was called, Okta, Jump Cloud, Ping, etc., we plug right into those. Okay? And what do we provide? We provide you the attestation and account review and access discovery. Access discovery is really big. We have a real big practice around vCISOs using this product, jumping in and saying, hold it, I got to understand who we have, or, a quasi pen test around identity, okay? Or it could be just your traditional quarterly, monthly access review. And what we're saying there is you don't need a heavyweight on-premise IGA solution. We plug right in. YouAttest plugs right into your IAMs. And which we'll show, okay? Okay, one last slide. Architecture slide. Everyone loves those. I think they help explain how this works. So you can start with your HR. In this case today, we're going to start with your IAM right here. Here's your Active Directory. Plug that in, and that's in our multi-tenant YouAttest cloud-based tenant. And in this multi-tenant, it also not only for enterprises, but if you're running an MSP or consulting services, think of using this. Think of using YouAttest for all your customers or all the customers that have sensitive data that have to do an access review. Okay, watch what's going to happen here. This is what's real important, especially during the demo. Now we have AD in here. Okay, that's great. But this is the real power of YouAttest. Use your AD IDs, roles, managers to audit everything in your enterprise. And we automate that. Because you have a manager, but hey, Garrett, we haven't synced this. We haven't synced that. Real big in healthcare and finance. We take that other information and then use your information in your AD, in your Okta, in your Azure AD, in your Jump Cloud, and we allow you to audit those other resources. For the demo, when you're watching this is what we're going to have happen. Kashif is going to play risk manager right here, okay? He's risk manager, and he's going to take in the information from the AD, and then he's going to auto-delegate out to two managers. And two managers in this demo today is going to be me and Ashley. We're both going to be managers, and we're going to review. And then that's going to get correlated and then put up to a PDF right here, okay? That could be a CSV or a PDF, okay? And that's the evidence. That's the evidence. That should be kept on file, and that shows that the enterprise is doing a due diligence around your identities. Very, very crucial in today's age. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to stop sharing and take it away, Kasha.
Thank you, Garrett. Hello, everyone. Just let me go ahead and share my screen. And Ashley, can you confirm you have the visual?
I do. Thank you.
Thank you. So here's the dashboard. As Garrett mentioned, we do a whole lot of use cases here. We plug into your IAM where these auto audits come in. We do the application group event and user audits. Then we have a CSV module where you can, put in the CSV. We ingest that information. But today, the focus of this call is going to be the on-prem AD. So we'll cover the rest of it in subsequent sessions, but let's go to the on-prem AD. What we do here, we provide you an on-prem AD agent that you can easily install when you have access to the YouAttest tenant. You can go in here in this Active Directory sync module, and you can install the agent from this page over here. Once you have installed it, it's easier for you to add a sync. What we do, or what you need to do, is click on that Add Sync button here, name the sync according to the relevance of the audit or relevance of the sync, and just select the domain. So let's say if I am going to run a group sync, for example, name it group sync. Now you have the domain. In most cases, you will have a single domain to attach to or to link with. So I have selected my domain, which says domain to 2019.local. Now it gives you two options, either to go by OUs or to go by groups within OUs. So this was a special request from clients that, if they do not want to pull all the OUs and everything in a particular OU in terms of groups and nested groups, then they should be given an option to, instead of selecting the OU, they should be able to select the groups within those OUs. So for example, out of 10 groups within a single OU, I would like to select only 2 for the purpose of this sync. So I should be able to do that. So this is pretty straightforward. When you select an OU, for example, here, this one, and you select the second OU, everything underneath or within that OU is going to be pulled by the sync, including the groups and the nested groups. But when you go to the OUs with groups, it's going to give you first a list where you'll be able to identify the first one as an OU and the second one as the group within that OU. Because as you know, there could be multiple groups, or there could be a single group having there with multiple OUs inside multiple OUs. So we decided to give the OU name first, and then to identify the group within that OU, it comes in second. So you can go in here, select any group, and for the corresponding OU, let's say I select YouAttest OU, and the finance is the group within that OU, and you save that sync. So once you go over here, all you have to do is run the ad hoc sync for the one you have just saved. So here's the group sync I've saved. All I need to do is run the ad hoc sync. And once it's run, it's going to bring the information about how many OUs were included in that sync. And those OUs have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 groups in there, and those groups have that many users in it. So I have this sync ready. Now the information is here. All I have to do now is go to my user audits and create a new user audit when my internet allows me. Just bear with me for a second, please. Okay. So now here we add a new user audit, and instead of, because my tenant is integrated with my Entra ID as well, so it's giving me 2 options: either the API integration that I have with my Entra ID or Azure AD, previously called, and it gives me an option to choose Active Directory. So I'll choose Active Directory in this case, which will enable me to select from this dropdown. So I have two AD syncs, in my YouAttest 10. One is the OU sync I have created. The other one we just created for the group sync. So I'll go with either one of those. Let's say group sync here, and I'll give it a name. Say AD group audit. Now, this is important. You need to decide a time frame within which you would like your reviewers to complete the job of reviewing these users from this AD group, right? So I'll give them a week. You can give them an hour because there are only like 7 users, or a day, depending upon the number of users. So click next. Now, if I have more than one OU as a target, I'll go with all OUs. Otherwise, if I want to select any particular OU out of those, I'll go selected OUs. It will pop up here. Since I've only selected one OU, it shows one YouAttest. If I have multiple, you will see a list of those OUs and you can select from those. Now, which group do I want to pull from that OU? Maybe it has 3 or 4 different groups within that OU. Let's say, because the one I selected had only one, so it will display only one when I put it in here. But if you have multiple, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4 different groups appearing in that list, and you can choose from those to include in the audit. So I'll just choose finance, and then I'll click done. Now, what the tool is doing, since I have the data saved in my sync, AD sync previously, it's going to fetch that data from my AD sync, from those OUs I have targeted, and the groups within those OUs, and show me the users who have access to those groups and nested groups. So here's my audit. It has total 7 unique users. It hasn't been assigned to any reviewer yet, and nothing has been reviewed so far. So the progress is showing at 0%. Let's go into the audit and see what we have. Okay, now we have these 7 users. So if you notice, every user has an email, every user has a user manager assigned, and let's do this. Hold on. So you will see there's one that has not been assigned, and I'll show you the behavior, what it does upon delegation. But you see more details. You see the group owner information as well. In case you would like to assign it to a group owner, the information is there. But let's say you want to assign it to a manager who's directly managing these users, the manager's information is also there against each user. So I'll just go ahead and show you something else. Here, in this case, if I click on View More, you will see 2 groups appearing on the list. Why? Because this is the parent group, finance, because this person, this ID has access to the parent group named finance. But also, when you go inside finance parent group, there's a child group called demo group 2. So this person has access to demo group 2, the child group as well. So that's why it's appearing twice, because one access is for the parent group, and then he also has access to the child group within that parent group. So you can go granular. A reviewer can decide whether this person should be given access to the child group, or it should be revoked and he should only have access to the parent group. So here, let me just show you what we do here just to make things easier. Now, when you go to the action tab, I being the admin, I'll see these 4 different actions to take here on my part. I can go ahead and certify, I can revoke, but that's not the gist, or that's not how the process goes, because admins, they're supposed to be delegating these users out to the most relevant people within the organization.
Yeah, and I like what Kashyap is saying there. He's the risk manager. He has the power. He could review, he could, certify, etc. But a proper user access review is delegating out the actual certification to the business owners. And that's exactly what we're going to show in this demo. Thanks, Kashyap.
Great. Thanks, Garrett. So now I will go to, instead of going to manual delegation, which I'll cover a little bit later, I'll go to the auto delegation and show you the options. So here it enables you to push it out either to these managers who are directly responsible for these users or to the group owners. If there's single owner, multiple owners, but usually there's a single group owner for every group. So you can choose between the two. For now, for this demo, I'll just choose the manager and confirm. What the tool is doing now, it's pushing out those delegations to those relevant and respective managers here that you see. Upon refresh, we see that all these fields have been populated. It shows you the information that it was delegated by Kashif to Gerrit Greyjack. It was delegated by Kashif to YA manager, but one of these is not showing you anything, right? Why? We did it on purpose just to show you the difference, because we don't have the information of who is the manager of this user ID. So if you don't have the manager's information there, it will not take any action on that. But I, as an admin, can always go ahead and decide who should it go out to if the manager's information is not there. That's where the manual delegation comes in. And it's not limiting you to one reviewer. You can add multiple reviewers to it. So if that's the process you wanna go with, you want to involve multiple reviewers, maybe other than the manager and the group owner, all you have to do is just add these reviewers in this box here. So let's say I want to assign this to Gerrit Greyjack. I select that. If you want another user to be in there, you can just type in another email and it will go out to both of these individuals. So I'll just assign it to Gerrit for now. Okay, so now it has been sent out to Gerrit. Now I have done my job so far. I have assigned it to my managers, and let's see, starting with Ashley being the manager, what does she see in her inbox, and walk us through how she does the audit.
Perfect. Thanks, Kashif. Let me just share my screen. All right. So just to reiterate what Gerrit and Kashif were saying, so in this scenario, so Kashif's the risk manager, right? So I'm a manager. So what I'm going to see are only the employees that report to me. I don't need to see anyone else but my particular employees. That's the whole point of a user access review. So as you can see, I just got this email in my inbox. All I have to do, I click this hyperlink. So what this is going to do is this is going to direct me directly into the audit. So as you can see, Kashif had seen multiple employees. I only see 3. These are the 3 people that are on my team, and that's all I need to see. So what I can do is I can bulk select using this button up here, or I can go individually. So I want to show you individually what I can do. So let's start with Azar. So I'm going to check him. And let's say he has access to everything that he should. He's good to go. I'm going to certify. You can see right here, reviewers action certified. Okay, so Azar is done. Now I have employee TFPK. So let's say there's a problem with him. He has access to an application that he shouldn't. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to revoke. And you see that green bar pop up at the top. So that means the action that I just did has been completed. And you can see right here, last action revoked. And it also gives the timestamp. All of this will also be shown on the audit report, which Kashif's going to show you at the end. So Rashid actually was on my team at one point. He moved over to Gerrit's team. So what I'm going to do, instead of pushing it back to Kashif as the risk manager, I already know that he reports to Gerrit. So I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to delegate over. So just like Kashif did a manual delegation, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to delegate. I'm going to give this to Gerrit. Here he is. I'm going to assign. Perfect. So now I can see, so the delegation task is in progress. So then Gerrit on his screen is going to see that that employee is now in his box to review. So as you can see, certified, revoked, I'm done. That's all I had to do. Just a few minutes of my day and I'm good to go. So now Kashif, as a risk manager, is going to show you what he sees on his console once one of the reviewers does their job. I'm going to stop sharing.
Ashley.
Thank you.
And let me share mine now. Okay, here's the admin or risk manager screen you're looking at. Just let me hit the refresh just to see the progress. So once I do that, I see that one of my managers, which was Ashley, she has completed the task. Now, these 4 users, their review is still pending, and their manager is Garrett Grayjack. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that Garrett can share his and see what he sees on his screen and review those users. You're on mute, Garrett. I'm sorry.
I'll play the role of the guy with my mic on mute. Yes, here we go. I'll play the role of busy manager. Okay, so here I am. I'm busy manager. Okay. Oh, but I do reviews. I get it. Company used to send me these spreadsheets. Man, that was annoying. Okay. But now we've upgraded. The company's upgraded. And think of it, y'all. This is either, Kashif is either playing the risk manager internal, or he could be some MSP consultant, managing this process. I'm happy because here I am. I'm the manager, and I see I have an alert. Okay. I simply click the bottom one down here, and look at this. I've got all these users. Okay, no big deal. Watch this. Watch what I can do. Okay, make my screen a little bigger, and I go to this first gentleman. I go, okay, finance, and he's down to demo group, rock and roll. Okay, now like I said, I can certify that one directly, or watch what I can do. I'm gonna go down to the second guy. He's just in finance. Yeah, all right, copacetic. I'm good with that. I can certify them like that. Nothing wrong. I'm going to keep scrolling down. I got another guy. He's just in finance. All right, I'm good with that. Okay, I'm keep going. Finance, he's good. Sir, I'm good with this guy. All these look good. And guess what? Look at this. You see these other ones came from the risk manager? Kashif. Okay. No, YA manager sent me this one. And I'm like, oh yeah. This is my employee now. I'm completely good with what we have here. Okay. And since I went through all of my employees and all my reports and said, I'm good with these, watch what I can do. I just click this and I hit certify. Now there it is. Busy manager is done. Okay. Busy manager is done. Certified. And I look through them all. Now the funny thing is, I could have even commented on those, which is really important for other reports and saying, okay, why did you approve? Who approved? Et cetera, and go into that. Chose not to for this case. Take it away, Kashif. Tell people what you do now as the risk manager.
Thank you, Garrett. And again, I'll share the screen of the risk manager, and I'll click on the little refresh again to see the progress. So here I've hit that. So here we go. You are at 100%. So review is done. All you have to do now is go back to your listings page. Once the review is done, you can get the report out, download that report, which will be available both in CSV and a PDF format, right? Let me show you how you can get it, and then I'll show you the evidence. Here you go, download the report. It gives you both the options, CSV and PDF, and then you can choose between, you want to have to see all the users or just to revoke users, just to show the progress of, what you've been doing. But the report in PDF looks something like this, which, you can see all the actions there, the user profile attributes, and then the action tab. What was the group name? What was the type or status? What was the action recommended for this ID? And the timestamp is also here. And the place where they have multiple groups, you can see audit for those multiple groups in here. Here, in this case, there are 2, finance and the finance demo group 2. But if you have multiple in here, this will keep extending and show you the information accordingly. So this is the PDF, but you can always see the same report in the CSV format, where you can have all this information here. You can use this information if you have dealing with the number of users. You can slice and dice the data, make it more presentable to your audience, to your management, and use the CSV version. Otherwise, PDF is more cleaner if you are dealing with less number of users. So here's the evidence. But after that, Garrett, if you would like to add anything before I go into the siloed report, if they need to get a CSV and compare that with their AD data, I'll
Yeah,
cover
in
that in a
fact,
bit.
give me back the baton for a second. I want to show
Please.
one thing. Okay.
Mhm.
And one thing about this is people, well, why is that procedure? Well, what is the point of this? Well, the point of this is to save the resources and time of your enterprise. What I mean by that is we are having, this is the process people are going through. Okay. You're seeing we've greatly simplified. We did a whole ROI TCO and analysis of our customers and asked them how long this was taking them before, and this is the type of information they give us afterwards. So think of all the time that's going on and all the wasted time by your risk manager, whoever's doing that job, probably the people on this call. You're doing all that collation and the creation of those spreadsheets, and then you're doing the nag emails yourself. We have those all written. All the reminder emails, all the automation, all the auto delegation, that's all written. So what you have is an automated process that saves the whole team, not just yourself, but the reviewers' time on the process. All right, Kashif, have some fun. Show some more advanced features, and team out there in audience land, feel free to write into the LinkedIn if you have any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Garrett. One thing I would like to show here is something you covered in your prezo before the demo, is the siloed resource report,
Good
where
point.
you have an AD or you have an Azure Entra AD or Okta, whatever IAM you're using for identities. And then you have those siloed or isolated applications that are not in sync with your AD or AD in the cloud. How would you compare if the IDs residing in those resources are also present in your AD or the identity system as well? So we provide you this siloed resource report where you can just name that, choose the CSV file you will export from that particular resource. For example, it's an application, it's an in-house application, which allows you to export the user and group information and the permissions out, and just to compare that with other resources to see if those identities make sense. So I'll go here. Let's say this is the file I had exported out of a resource, an isolated resource. Click next, and now it gives you two options. One is where you have the integration. The other one is the generic identity store. In this case, it's going to be the on-prem AD. So I'll just go with on-prem AD here. And as soon as I select that, the dropdown is going to give me the sync information that we have saved previously for the user audit. So I'm going to choose one of those syncs here, the group sync. We have saved in the installation process, and we ran the AD ad hoc sync. And then in the user matching criteria, we have either username or email. I'll just choose email to map it with what we have on the CSV. We also have email on the CSV. So both say email, and we run this on the users now. So it has two different parameters. One says include users in the report who meet the following criteria if that identity is on one resource that is isolated but not on the AD, and vice versa. And then the other one is the group matching. That, for example, that person or that ID that is residing on that resource or that application is whether that ID is part of a corresponding group inside your AD. If it is, it's going to bring back the value that, yes, it exists on both sides. If
And
not,
that's an important feature, Kashif, because we got that straight from the auditors who said,
right.
Our customers said, hey, we would like to use YouAttest to audit these siloed resources, but we don't want to sync. We don't have to sync everything. And the auditors came back to us and said, well, we don't care as long as they can prove some type of role governance. What do you mean by that? Well, they're doing role governance in AD. They've got this group called finance, as we just walked through. Then these 3 siloed finance applications, the users should map in there. There shouldn't be users that are in those siloed applications that aren't in the finance group, in the AD or the EntreAD or the Okta. That's what we're able to show, and that's what, most importantly, our customers are able to show with this product and this feature. So it's a real powerful feature.
Right, absolutely. And all you have to do after selecting the parameter or the criteria is to provide your email, where this tool can export a report, which will be in a CSV format, and you can, let me just show you this instead of just talking through this. So when you get the report, it will have these fields, the username, everything that, this audit has, the manager's email, all that. But the column P, let's say this is column P, it will have the user categorization reason. 2 of these say not available in the identity store of record or the resource, but 2 of these say, well, both of them, they exist on both sides. So you don't have to worry about these, but these 2. So you need to take care of these 2 identities, either add them to the group if they belong there, or remove them from that application where they don't belong. So that way you will be actually taking care of your orphan accounts or ghost accounts inside your system. So that's the report. We can compare that CSV. We can compare the information coming from a siloed resource to what you have in your AD, and get you what's there and what's not. So I hope that covered our today's session, the Educational Audit Tuesday, the topic for that.
Yeah,
Great, over to you.
Let me share my screen, show people how they can get a hold of us. Ask our inside sales. If there's, I don't think there's any questions right now, but most importantly, Ashley, why don't you tell the audience how they get a hold of us?
Yeah, you can reach us at info@youattest.com, and our phone number is also listed there as well, as long as with our website. So also we have that Calendly link, so feel free to just type that in, and you can go ahead and ask any questions to us live. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Great job, team. All the best.